Welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Thursday, 14th September 2017. I am Pamela Diaz. With the 34th anniversary to mark St. Kitts and Nevis's independence right around the corner, the first activity to kick off the festivities is slated for Sunday, 17th September. The state service of prayer, praise, and thanksgiving in celebration of the 34th anniversary of independence of St. Kitts and Nevis will be hosted at the Charleston Methodist Church at 5 p.m. The activities will continue on Tuesday 19th at 8 a.m. with the annual Independence Ceremonial Parade and Awards Ceremony at the El Camino T. Willett Park. After the parade is the Toast to the Nation, which is hosted by the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. The festivities will conclude in the evening at 7 p.m. with the Nevis Island Administration's Independence Reception at Occasions Conference Center. Earlier this week, in a press release issued by the press unit in the office of the Prime Minister, it was announced that in light of the passing of Hurricane Irma last week and the threat of further storms impacting the Federation, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, in the best national interest, will review the celebratory activities planned to commemorate the 34th anniversary of independence. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris announced that his government took the decision to curtail the number of activities that was part of the original publicized calendar. St. Kitts and Nevis's 34th Independence Anniversary celebrations is celebrated under the theme Youth, Vision, Integrity, Securing Our Nation's Prosperity. Deputy Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, welcomed news that the first phase of the geothermal development project at Hamilton Estate will commence on the island shortly. Following an announcement by local representative for Nevis Renewable Energy International, NREI, McLevin Mackey Truss, on September 12, 2017, on the status of the geothermal project, Brantley, speaking from his Pinnis Estate office on September 13, 2017, said the Nevis Island Administration, NIA, is heartened by the news.
The developers have now indicated a time frame. They've cleared the land, they're mobilizing in terms of equipment, and I believe they've given some specifics. The public would know that the Nevis Island Administration has been steadfast in its pursuit of green energy, and we continue to be committed to greening of the island insofar as our energy is concerned, and we look forward to geothermal energy becoming a reality. There clearly have been some delays and some setbacks, but we are heartened by the news that we've had recently that the developers have now mobilized, and we expect drill rigs to be here very shortly.
The NIA signed a power purchase agreement with NREI in 2015 for geothermal development on Nevis.
Any economic development and any ongoing commercial activity cannot take place without reliable source of power. Now, we heard from Dr. Chatterton the same sentiment. And if we are desirous of going out to the marketplace, whether it is in the tourism marketplace, in the financial services marketplace, or in the CBI marketplace that is looking for investment into this country of St. Kitts and Nevis, and in this case, certainly in Nevis, we have to ensure that we are able to say to those whom we are seeking to attract that we have a reliable source of power. And today, with this commissioning of the 3.85 generating set, and having purchased the 2.5 before that, we can say that we have 6 megawatts plus of reliable energy in addition to the other engines which are there.
That was Premier of Nevis and Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, the Honorable Vance Amry, speaking at the commissioning of the 3.8 megawatt Wärtsilä generator, which took place at the Prospect Power Plant's parking lot on Tuesday, 12 September. Premier Amry then commended the management and staff of the Nevis Electricity Company Limited, NEVLEC.
The anxiety which we experienced over the past 5 years, and certainly in the last year and a half, for people wanting electricity, as it were, or flogging a dead horse to give us more and more output from its weary bones. was understandable. And I want to say to the staff of NEVLEC, Mr. Swanston, under trying circumstances, Mr. Springett, whom I know is a hard worker and a dedicated mechanic, I want to say to you and your staff, congratulations for keeping things going, even when it seemed as if we would collapse.
Also in attendance was Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, Minister of Public Infrastructure Ian Patches Liburd, Minister of Communications and Public Utilities, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, Junior Minister of Communications and Public Utilities, the Honorable Troy Liburd, as well as Chairman of the Sugar Industry Diversification Funds Board of Councillors, Dr. Robertine Chatterton. The commissioning brought down the curtain on the 17th anniversary of activities which ran from Sunday 27th August through to September 12, 2017. Still to come, classes to resume at University of the Virgin Islands in 2 weeks. The details when we return.
The Premier's Ministry cordially invites the general public to a ceremonial parade to commemorate the 34th anniversary of independence of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. The parade will be held at the El Kemido T. Willett Park on Tuesday, 19th September 2017 at 8 a.m.
Come celebrate St. Kitts and Nevis's 34 years of independence from September 1st to September 30th. Youth, vision, integrity, securing our nation's prosperity.
Welcome back. The University of the Virgin Islands, UVI, suffered some damage due to the passing of Hurricane Irma last week, and as such, classes were postponed. UVI's dedicated alumni recruitment representative for Nevis, J.D. Keynes, stated that classes will resume in the next 2 weeks.
So the University of the Virgin Islands St. Thomas campus is one of those businesses, one of those entities that would have suffered significant loss. As a matter of fact, there has been damage to approximately 20% of the university's buildings, and that's according to the president, Dr. David Hall, who recently spoke in an interview with CNN News. According to Dr. Hall, again, the president of the university, they have given 2 weeks for classes to resume on the St. Thomas campus. And so while everything will not be as it was in the past, he has given that assurance that students can engage in or can pursue studies in the classes that they would have registered for this semester. It does not necessarily mean that you'll be in the same buildings, and naturally, because some of these buildings have been somewhat destroyed. And so what he's saying is that a makeshift would be done to ensure that all of the classes that students would have registered for this semester, they are able to carry those out. They are able to continue to be enrolled at the university. The St. Croix campus has not suffered any significant damage, and so they'll be utilizing that facility to some extent. As more information becomes available, we'll be sure to share that.
Keynes explained that based on reports, the university students that reside on Hall were moved to the strongest dormitory at the university, and both students who live on and off campus are all accounted for and safe. Due to the difficulties with communication in the United States Virgin Islands, USVI, Keynes is encouraging persons in contact with students residing in St. Thomas to share the update on the university's reopening. Persons with further questions or queries are asked to contact Ms. Keynes at 1-869-663-4423 or send her a Facebook message to JDS Keynes Media Personality. The official opening ceremony for the 2017 St. Thomas Parish Festival, STT Fest, will be hosted this evening at the Jessops Community Center. The ceremony will be followed by a cocktail reception. Assistant Secretary and Treasurer for the STT Fest Planning Committee, Chesley Farrow Davis, explained the event and outlined the activities slated for Friday evening.
This coming Thursday, the 14th, we have an opening ceremony and a cocktail planned for the Jessups Community Center. And that's mainly sponsored kindly by the Four Seasons Resort. Friday the 15th, the old school, the Lowlands Old School, will be having old school bingo and dance. Bingo, the jackpot, I think, is $2,000. We have a few games before. And the house band for that night happens to be the Smallocks Band. So that's Friday the 15th. If you're coming for the bingo alone, it's just $15. If you're coming for both dance and bingo, it's $30. So it's your choice.
Davis used the opportunity to invite persons to participate in the 2017 STT Fest that will begin this evening and conclude on Sunday, September 24. This year's theme is Rock and Commune. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Pamela Diaz. Thank you for viewing.
Uwali, the Queen of the Caribbean, bathed by its crystal shores, is the Caribbean's best kept secret. Nevis is known for its rich culture, which remains entrenched in the island's everyday life. We boast of having the Caribbean's greatest summer festival, Culturama. The birthplace of Alexander Hamilton, my little 36 square mile island, is the home of the Bath Hotel, which is the first built hotel in the Caribbean. Don't forget to take a dip in the therapeutic Bath Springs. Take a few minutes to trot down to the ever-famous Sunshine's Bar and drink a world-renowned Killer Bee. Live Nevis naturally by exploring the magnificent waterfalls and hiking to the top of our 32 Nevis Peak. Our lush vegetation and landscape deems a visit here the perfect escape. Nevis, Queen of the Caribbean.